The Royal Mint 2022 Gen Z investment report is out, and it revealed that 80% of 16 to 25-year-olds dedicate a portion of their income to investing in their future, with £9.4 billion set to be invested in the upcoming financial year. A lot of this links to the pandemic and changing spending habits over time, with more people favouring investing. And in this video, I'm going to be running through my own personal experience, how those spending habits have changed, and how we can actually get started investing with a focus on diversification, particularly looking at gold, but more on that later. This is a paid partnership with the Royal Mint. Thank you very much to them for sponsoring this video, and a lot of useful links surrounding the Royal Mint can be found in the description. I first wanted to talk about and touch on my own experience of being an investor. I'm only 24 years old and have already been investing for 4 years. So I wanted to give you a flavour of why I invest, my motivations, and how I found it, particularly through the pandemic. First of all, the main reason why I invest, as I mentioned, I'm only 24, but luckily through reading some books at a young age, I realised that investing really is the best way to grow your wealth. If you can increase your income and invest more and more over time, you can grow your wealth, beat inflation, and then have a chance at trying to retire early and achieve financial independence. And that then links into ultimately why I invest. I hope one day to be able to retire early, way before traditional retirement age at 55, 60, 65, and investing in different asset classes is going to allow me to do that, hopefully over the long term, with compound interest and the markets working in my favour. Whilst the pandemic was very tough for a lot of people, one positive from it for me was that my expenses reduced by quite a lot. I was going out less, I was commuting less, I was essentially spending less money, which freed up more money that I could then use to invest into assets. And I think that is a big key and a big trend we've seen since the pandemic, is that people have been able to cut their expenses, and that then allows them to invest more, which then gets us back to that incredible stat of 80% of 16 to 25-year-olds looking to invest a portion of their money. It is important to emphasize though that investing is not a get-rich-quick scheme, and a lot of people get burnt because they think it is. It's very much, in my view, all about investing consistently, contributing your own money every single month with what you can afford, and then waiting for the long term to hopefully grow and compound your wealth over time. I now want to come on to the Royal Mint 2022 Gen Z report, which I think is very interesting, and there's a lot of good stats that I want to share with you. The first one, or first two I should say, are ones I've mentioned right at the top of the video, that 80% of 16 to 25-year-olds are looking to dedicate a portion of their income to investing, and apparently £9.4 billion is going to be invested in the upcoming financial year, which is obviously great to see. Ultimately, the more you can invest at a younger age, the more that money is going to compound over the long term, so that's brilliant to see. Another really important stat from this report is that 55% of young adults invest up to 20% of their income, which is brilliant. As we mentioned a couple of times already, the more you can invest, the more of that income that you can invest, the more your money is going to grow and compound over the long term, and hopefully one day can help to achieve that goal of financial independence and hopefully retiring early. As part of the report, there was a really interesting table for the research that they did, which shows the top areas where people are cutting back their spending. I always like seeing research like this, but it shows the top areas where people are cutting back their spending in an effort to try and invest more. Eating out being the main one, as well as ordering takeaways. Clearly people like eating out and having nice food. You've also got giving up alcohol, buying less fast fashion, having less leisure activities. You can see the different percentages there, but people really are trying to make a conscious effort to cut their expenditure, even though things are opening up now, to keep that expenditure low, to then invest more. Which, as someone myself who's 24, who's investing at the moment, who's been investing for a number of years, and I personally try to invest as much as I can each month, it's great to see that the trend of people my age and in my sort of age category range is going this direction, and people are trying to invest more and make a conscious effort to invest and build for their future. I think a lot of these stats then link into what I was talking about with my own experience, that with the pandemic, it allowed people, particularly younger people who maybe moved back home, paying less in commuting, paying less in traveling, paying less in going out, were able to reduce their expenses, contribute more to their investments, and then it seems like this trend is actually increasing even though the world is opening back up again. People want to have a focus and emphasis on investing some of their money every month. It also links, and this is something the report talks about as well, is that a lot of investors have been burnt when it comes to things like meme stocks, NFTs, and they want, I guess, a safer, more consistent way to invest for the long term, rather than trying to get sucked into these get-rich-quick schemes, which ultimately don't work, especially over the long term. Another really interesting stat from this report is that nearly 2/3, 64% of young people from 16 to 25 have experienced some sort of loss when it comes to NFTs or meme stocks. And because of that, young investors are looking to diversify more and more, and this is where precious metals like gold can come into play, but I'll go through that more in a second. There are a lot of different asset classes that we as investors can invest into. You have stocks and bonds, you have crypto, you have property, you have commodities, you have precious metals like gold, silver, platinum, just to name a few. And I think diversification is really important, not just in each asset class, but also between the different asset classes to try and build a complete portfolio. And it goes back to that old age mantra of don't put all your eggs in one basket, because if that basket breaks, then it's not going to end well for you. So I've mentioned precious metals and gold a couple of times already in this video, and this is where the Royal Mint's investment hub can come into play and help us learn more about precious metals and investing into precious metals such as gold. As you can see on your screen now, the Royal Mint's investment hub goes through a lot of different pieces that you can use to help you get invested in terms of how to invest and asking the precious metal experts questions themselves. Not to mention the Precious Metals Academy, which is dedicated courses ranging from beginner to advanced to learn more and advance your learning around precious metals, which, as I mentioned, is just another asset class to diversify us when it comes to long-term investing. And I actually made an investment myself into DigiGold, which I'm going to come on to now. It is worth emphasizing that the Royal Mint have a massive range of investment options available, from gold, silver, platinum, bullion bars, bullion coins, and DigiGold, which I made my own investment into already. So before I show you how to actually do that, it's a very simple process. It takes 2 minutes. Let me actually explain first of all what DigiGold is. DigiGold is a way to invest in gold, which, as we mentioned, is just another asset that comes under the precious metal categories and is a way to be diversified. DigiGold is a way to invest in gold, with the main pro being we don't actually physically receive the gold and need to store it ourselves, but at the same time the gold is backed by the Royal Mint and that gold actually exists. They store it for you, so it saves the hassle of us storing it, and we can get invested into DigiGold with as little as £25, which is what I did myself. Not only do we need very little money to get started, the gold is physically backed and it's secured, we also have complete control and can buy and sell instantly within seconds. You can see on your screen now my actual portfolio. I made an investment into DigiGold just to see how the process works, and it's very, very simple. To open up an account literally takes 2 minutes. You put in a few details and you're up and running. Then to actually invest into DigiGold, I'll show it on the screen now, is once again a very simple process. You go onto the DigiGold page, which also has a lot of information about what it is, the pros, there's an FAQ towards the bottom, but you go onto that page, you type in how much. In this example, I put in £25. It then calculates how many ounces of gold you can buy, adds it to your basket, and job done. You are now the owner of some gold that's physically backed, secured for as little as £25. Investment report I quoted earlier also shows through their research that 69% of young investors and adults had an interest and an appetite to invest into precious metals, and really this is as easy as it gets if you want to go down that route of diversifying your portfolio using precious metals. And if you don't want to physically own the products, although you can physically buy them as well. If you want to digitally buy them, you can also do that using DigiGold, so it's really handy and it sort of fits or suits whatever need you're looking for when it comes to investing into precious metals, whether the physical option or the digital option. And that wraps up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a bit about my sort of own investing experience, linking to the pandemic, and then how we can diversify our portfolios even further using gold and specifically DigiGold. That investment report from the Royal Mint is very interesting. A lot of great stats in there showing that people really are trying to invest more, particularly younger generations, which is great to see. If you are interested in finding out more about the Royal Mint, I'll link a couple of useful links at the top of the description. The first thing will help you find out a bit more about digital precious metals, which is what I now am investing in myself using the Royal Mint. And the second link will take you to their Precious Metals Academy, where you can learn a bit more about precious metals and understand them more if you want to do that before you make your first investment. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video.